This is a Rogue Media Network podcast. Central Texas Life with Ann Harder presents Central Texas Events.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Central Texas Events. And I'm really excited about this upcoming event because my husband and I are planning on attending it for sure. And it benefits the Waco Symphony Council. And I have the president of the Symphony Council, Liz Arend, here with us, and Christy Lewis, who is the vice president of fundraising. Get that title right. Because this is one of the big things that the council does in the support of the Waco Symphony Association and Orchestra, and that's help raise money.
That's right.
And we come up with fun ways to do it.
Yeah, we're really excited about this event. It's been a long time planning, and we have 3 houses, all on Hidden Bluff and Hidden Valley, and they're all spectacular homes, and they have a beautiful view of the Middle Bosque River.
Yeah, right.
So we'll be there when the sun sets, which ought to be spectacular. Praise, that we have a sunset that night.
Mm-hmm.
But we're hoping and being very confident that we will. And it's a sort of a progressive evening where you start out at one house and have heavy hors d'oeuvres and wine, and then you move to another house with heavy hors d'oeuvres and wine, and then there's music, of course. You have to have music if it's the symphony event. So there'll be players from a symphony playing for our pleasure. And then we go, all of us, to another house, the third house, which is where there's a silent auction and a wine pull and delicious desserts and champagne.
Oh, it's going to be great. And this is coming up February 1st, Saturday evening. And Christy, how important is this kind of fundraising event for the council?
Well, it's our main fundraising, or right now, the only fundraising event of the year. And the monies that are raised, we donate to the orchestra. And it goes for various programs to mentor young people that, play instruments. And we also have several other
we have
causes.
We have a children's concert every fall.
I'm familiar with
November-ish.
that.
Yes, and of course Ann has been wonderful in that she is the person who narrates.
I've been there for like 20-something years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I wouldn't miss. But
and that's exciting because there are like 5,000 or 6,000 4th and 5th graders that come into Waco Hall, and it's my favorite day because you see them looking up at this building that they've never been in, a lot of them. And it's our hope that it will engender in them and kind of set a fire for them to get in love classical music.
Yeah, and I have heard stories about people who, went to their first live symphony orchestra concert as a child, children's symphony, and then ended up going on to play a musical instrument. And that's, of course, that's just icing on the cake for me to be able to watch these kids enjoy that. Of course, for the Symphony Council to provide the manpower for that, that's really important as well. And of course, just for the symphony orchestra to pay for musicians. They're wonderful, but they don't do it for free.
Right. Well, I don't think people realize how much it costs to get a concert on the stage. I surely didn't until I started working and volunteering. And so, we do as much as we can to help in playing. We have to pay guest artists, the musicians, Waco Hall. It goes on. And so it just doesn't happen free. And so people who buy season tickets, people who come to an event such as the one on the 1st of February are just an integral part of the success of the Waco Symphony. So we can all kind of take pride. And I think it's pretty phenomenal to have a city this size with an orchestra that is as extraordinary as the one we have.
No question about that. When we were searching for a conductor, music director to replace Stephen Hyde, we had more than 100 prospects see the job posting, and which to me is remarkable, but it speaks so well to, several of them said, I had to learn more about this orchestra in a smallish town in Texas that was attracting Yo-Yo Ma and some of the fabulous players that we've had grace the stage there at Waco Hall. You mentioned young people, though, Christy. Bells and Brass is another program that the council does. You want to talk a little bit to that?
Well, I hope I can, yes. It is a group of, young men and young women that they learn etiquette, and they spend, I don't know how many hours, but they do volunteer work, and just to promote their knowledge of the symphony, but also just of being a young, upstanding person. And then it all comes to a head at their gala, and where the young ladies are presented.
Mm-hmm.
And men, yes. And so in sort of a pageant-like ceremony.
Right.
I've not been to one, so
okay. Well, you're in for a treat.
But yes, so I think it's a very worthwhile cause to support.
Yeah, Margaret Brown was sort of the founder of all of this, and sadly, I've only been in Waco 3 years, but there's not a person you don't talk to that doesn't talk about her far-reaching into the symphony and all things symphony. And she started the Bells and Brass program. And so with the idea that she was just so passionate about classical music that she wanted to share it and make sure that young people were exposed to it. So they get a music appreciation class, which I went to this year, and I learned a lot. So they learn a lot and they give a lot. They're some of the first people you see when you come to a concert, because they're standing at the door welcoming you to the concert, helping you if you need help, finding your seat.
Find your seat.
Yeah. So
well, it's a terrific program, and again, it's just another way to help hopefully make the whole idea of being a patron of the arts from the standpoint of classical music, to make that a part of their lives later on, because it's a challenge in, making it still available, affordable, and all that kind of thing for folks to enjoy symphony concerts.
Right. And I was at the orientation for Bells and Brass, and I charged them all to really start listening to the music around them, because you can't avoid symphonic music if you're listening to commercials. If you're watching any kind of movie on TV or a movie at the cinema, you're surrounded with it. And I don't think we think of it as symphonic music. So I charged them that I would speak to them at the end of their program to see if they really heard it this year, because it's so I think they think it's like for older people that, you have to dress up. And that's not true at all when you come to the Waco Symphony.
Right. It has become a lot more user-friendly from that standpoint, I think, about to last year and the concert that was the day before the solar eclipse. And it was a lot of people were dressed up in all kinds of costumes. And upcoming in March is the very first movie that the Waco Symphony is going to be involved with, playing the music to, which is Jurassic Park.
Right, yeah. And I think Maestro Larry Lowe, is very committed to taking the orchestra out into the community, and that will bring people that maybe think that music is just Beethoven and Bach and some of the classical musicians, when they can hear Jurassic Park music and watch the movie.
And it's very recognizable.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be an awesome thing. So get your tickets early. I might recommend that, because I think that is one that will sell out.
Yes, I do
at Waco Hall.
Yeah.
But we want to sell out this Homes on the Range. I love this. The title you have come up with for the event. It begins at 5:30. Again, as you say, with heavy hors d'oeuvres. The total group will be divided in two, and then they'll swap houses. And then everybody comes together in the third house. And again, thanks to the wonderful people who've allowed their homes to be used.
Absolutely.
For this. And so how can folks get tickets, Christy?
Well, they can go on the website, wacosymphony.com, and there should be a link either at the top or the bottom of the webpage. And they can click on that and select Savor the Symphony, Homes on the Range. And you can either pay for your tickets by credit card, or you can mail a check. And so I think primarily if you go online, it just gives you a way to pay with a credit card. But you could certainly contact the office and they would give you an address to mail the check in. And for those that have gotten an invitation, it tells you who to mail the check and the response card to.
Good. So you have a goal. What are you hoping to raise on this event?
Well, when we first started out, it was what, 30,000?
30,000.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Okay, good.
so we're hoping.
No hill for a climber.
Well, we have fabulous food. We have fabulous wine.
It's going to be
have
fun.
Fabulous houses, and we need fabulous people to come
and
fill the houses.
And speaking of the wine, one thing I wanted to do, my husband and I moved to Texas about 18 months ago from New Mexico. But one thing I wanted to do is to celebrate Texas wines.
Yes.
And so all the wine that is being served is from Texas.
Good.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And so I think, and the food will be great, the wine will be great, and I'm really excited. I hope we do sell out. It'd be great if we had 125 attendees. We'll settle for 100, but if we have 125, then we'll have to order more food. But that's okay.
That can be done.
Absolutely.
That can be done. So your deadline then on when?
The 23rd of January.
Okay, so that's coming up.
Yes.
But probably if they contact you, you might be able to work them in at the last minute.
Absolutely.
But good. Well, thank you both so much.
Thank you.
For all you do for the Waco Symphony Council and then for the Waco Symphony Orchestra and Association. The work you all do is just so very important and going to be a fun event. I'll look forward to seeing you both there, Christy, Liz, and hope to see you there too at Homes on the Range, Savor the Symphony. Well, that's it for Central Texas Events. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
What a fun thing you get to interview.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.